Yongxin Hu. Welcome back to 28 Days Eat with Hu's Kitchen video series. It's day 2. Did you enjoy your food from yesterday? I did. A little bit of summary of what we learned yesterday. So, you learned how to make a Chinese egg wrap for your breakfast. You learned how to make a Korean rainbow rice bowl for your lunch. You also learned how to make a sticky pork for your dinner. I'm super excited of today because there will be another 3 really delicious dishes in today's video. Before we start prepare everything for our breakfast, I'm gonna prepare for lunch first. Because for today's jack potato, I'm gonna use some Asian pulled pork and I'm gonna cook that in my slow cooker as well. So let's get them started first. First of all, I got my pork here. I'm just going to give it a quick wash and put straight in my slow cooker. Gonna put my pork in my slow cooker now. And next thing I'm gonna prepare, I'm going to put 2 cloves of garlic in my slow cooker. A little bit tips here. If you put your garlic on your chopping board and just use your knife, press it down. And then if you peel afterwards, it's gonna be easier and save you lots of time as well. See? Right, I'm going to put my garlic in my slow cooker. Right, and the next thing I'm going to put in about 200 grams of barbecue sauce. So about 200 grams here. Right, I'm going to put my barbecue sauce in my slow cooker now. And here I'm gonna add a bit of water to rinse my bowl. That's straight in my slow cooker as well. So the next thing I'm gonna put in my slow cooker will be this sauce here. Worcestershire sauce? Worcestershire sauce? Never mind, just this sauce here. So we're going to use our teaspoon, and we need 2 teaspoons of this sauce. One and 2. And then we need 2 tablespoons light brown sugar here. So we need to use light. We don't want the dark one because the light one tastes sweeter and the dark one tastes a little bit like caramelization taste, like a burnt of taste. So here we're going to use the light brown sugar. We need 2 tablespoons of light brown sugar. 1 and 2. Then we need some crushed chili or chili flakes. We only need 1 tablespoon here. This side's not fit, I'm going to use this side. And we need 2 teaspoons of paprika. And here we're going to use the smoked paprika. next thing we'll need will be the mustard powder. We need 2 teaspoons mustard powder here. Then we'll need 3 tablespoons of white wine vinegar. Here I'm just gonna use my Chinese rice vinegar. So we're gonna have 1, 2, 3. And last but not least, I'm gonna add some fresh thyme. I'm just gonna have a tiny bit of this cutie here. Oops. I'm gonna add about just a handful. Here we go. Before we put them on the side, we're going to, put all the dry ingredients in the sauce and give a quick stir and then mix. Make sure the barbecue sauce will cover the pork. And now I'm going to put the lid on my slow cooker and put them on the side. So here we're going to use high heat for 4 hours and it will be ready for our lunch. So I will see you guys with my Asian pulled pork at lunchtime. Hi guys, it's Yongxin Hu and welcome back. After we put our pulled pork in the slow cooker, let's prepare for breakfast. So today we're going to make the 1-pot breakfast with toast. And first of all, I'm going to start to chop all the ingredients. So first thing I'm going to chop will be 1/3 of carrot. Obviously, like this recipe is for 2 people. So if you have more family, in your house, if you have more family in your house, probably you want to double and triple the recipe. Right, I'm gonna slice the carrots first, and then I'm gonna chop them to little strips, and then from there I'm gonna chop them to even smaller. And I'm gonna show you how small it's gonna be. So I'll say probably as small as possible. Right, that's my carrots all chopped up. Next thing I'm gonna chop will be the peppers. So I'm going to use the little bit of leftover peppers from yesterday when we made the Korean rice bowl. I'm just gonna chop to small strips first, and then from there we're gonna chop to small pieces again. So about this big will do. I mean, I would say like if you not feel really confident chop things really small and just leave as big pieces, that will do. Just make sure you don't hurt yourself. That's the most important part. And then I need about half or 1/3 of green pepper. Then we're going to chop some mushrooms. I'm going to use a can of chopped tomatoes. I think it's easier, and it's already pre-chopped and it's quite salty in there. And the next thing I'm going to prepare will be the garlic. And from the video before, I think you guys probably know how to prepare garlic now. And we're going to give us a little bit crush on the garlics and peel the skin. So here we'll use 2 garlic cloves, and we're going to chop them to fairly small pieces. And so the last thing I'm going to chop will be half onion, and we need finely chopped onion here as well. Right, that's all of our ingredients we need to prepare. So we have garlic here, onion here, carrot here, red pepper, green pepper, mushroom. If you want your dish to look slightly prettier, you can add a tiny bit of yellow pepper as well. Here, because I'm gonna make this breakfast for both Tim and I'm not gonna use any bacon, but if you prefer add a tiny bit of flavor, or if you want to add a little bit crispy element and a little bit meat, you can put the bacon in your breakfast as well. That's everything we need to chop. Now I'm going to move to the hob. So I just put 2 slices of toast in my toaster because we're going to serve this dish with our toast later on. Here, because we are kind of on diet, and rather than use olive oil today, I'm going to use some fried light oil. It's only about 1 calorie per spray. So we're going to turn on the heat. I'm just going to spray about 5 times. First thing I'm going to put in some garlic and some onions. I don't know about you guys, but I hate raw onion a lot. I have to say I can't handle raw onion at all. So I always make sure my onions definitely proper cooked. So my onions in and my garlic's in. And at the same time, we're going to turn the heat to low in case everything burned before they cooked. Right, so I'm going to turn them to low and give them a quick mix in the pan and add a tiny bit of salt in the pan. As I mentioned in the previous video, and when you put the salt in the pan, and it will help bring the water out from the vegetables slightly faster. And the next thing I'm going to put in some carrots. And I'm going to put in my red pepper and my green peppers. Because mushrooms take a nice time to cook, so I'm gonna put them in last. Once the onions proper cooked, I'm gonna add my mushrooms. So if you say like, you don't mind raw onion and garlic, you can put the mushroom in slightly earlier. Once you're happy with everything is cooked, and we're gonna add about half can of chopped tomatoes in here. And here we're gonna turn the heat up a tiny bit to medium-low. So here we're gonna add about 1/8 teaspoon of chili powder. If you can't eat spicy, or if you don't like spicy foods, ignore this part. And next thing we're gonna put in about 1/4 teaspoon of cumin powder or ground cumin. Then we're gonna add a tiny bit salt and black pepper for seasoning. And we're going to do a good mix. Last but not least, we're going to crack 2 eggs in. And we're gonna keep the heat just under medium. I think the eggs are cooked now. I'm gonna turn off the heat, and I'm gonna put extra pepper and a tiny bit salt for seasoning. And now it's ready to be served. Right, I have transferred my breakfast into this bowl, and I'm going to add a tiny bit of coriander on top of it. Here we go. Right, now is the most important part. Try my food. Let's dip this in the yolk. Ooh. It's so good. It's so delicious and healthy at the same time. Right, now I'm gonna enjoy my breakfast. I will see you guys at lunchtime. Bye. Hi guys, it's Yongxin Hu. Welcome back. It's lunchtime. So for today's lunch, you guys probably guess what's gonna happen and what we're gonna have, because we prepare our Asian pulled pork this morning, even before our breakfast. So back in 2019, Tim and I went to Amsterdam. There was this great jack potato restaurant in a small street in Amsterdam, and they served the jack potato with this Asian pulled pork. It was absolutely delicious, and that's where the inspiration came from today. So for the jack potato, and we normally put our jack potatoes in the microwave for about 5 to 7 minutes before we pop it in the oven. And so the microwave part will help us speed up the cooking process. Right, I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna do first before I pop the potato in the microwave. So I'm gonna use this quite big potato. You can see it's like nearly half size of my face. And so I'm gonna use my small knife, and I'm gonna use this small knife, just cut in. I'm just gonna put my knife through. So before we pop the potato in the microwave, I'm gonna put my knife through the potatoes a few times. Just because if we don't do this part, the potato gonna explode in the microwave. Now I'm gonna pop my potato in the microwave for 5 minutes. While we're waiting for the potato, and my pulled pork is done now. But it's not pulled yet. I'm gonna open my lid and use my chopsticks and to pull them to parts. Before I do anything, I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper in there for seasoning. And now I'm gonna use my chopsticks. That's my Asian pulled pork done, and now I'm going to check on my potatoes. So my potato is done now. I just tried to put a knife through it, and the knife can easily go through it. So now I'm going to use the butter flavor light spray oil to spray on top of my potato. Oh, that's hot. Then I'm going to seasoning with a little bit pepper and salt. And now I'm going to pop it in the oven. And we're going to wait about roughly 10 minutes each, depends on your oven. And or you can wait until the skin starts to turn golden, brown and crispy. My potato is done now, and I'm gonna cut across in the middle on my potato. Then I'm gonna add a little bit Sprite. If you are on diet and don't want to put the butter or Sprite on, you can add this little butter buzz. It's really low calorie, and we normally use rather than the Sprite. So the pork is slightly cool now. I'm just gonna go away and pull them to even smaller and put on my jacket potato. I will be back in a sec. Dun, 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 dun. Right, now I'm gonna put all the pulled Asian pork on my potato. Just in case after we pulled the pork apart, the meat gonna be really dry, I'm gonna spoon some salt from my slow cooker on the pork to keep them moist. And I'm gonna add a little bit healthy things on there. Some cherry tomato. And some iceberg lettuce from yesterday. And I'm gonna add extra bit black pepper. here is my pulled Asian pork jacket potato. Now it's the most important part. I'm gonna try my Asian pulled pork jacket potato. It's carby potato. And I'm gonna have some pork with it. It's so good. It's so good. It's so delicious, guys. Oh my god. I'm so happy that I'm duplicate the flavor. I still remember it from Amsterdam. I hope you guys gonna give it a try and like it as well. Now I'm gonna enjoy my lunch. I will see you guys at dinner time. Bye. Hi guys, it's Yongxin Hu. Welcome back. It's finally dinner time. Tonight we're going to cook one of Tim's favorite dish. It's the mushroom risotto. It's also a low-calorie version of that. So if you're on diet, you might want to try this out. First of all, I'm gonna cut an onion. Here, I'm just gonna cut them to slices first. Right, from there, I'm gonna cut it to even smaller. So basically, just dice the onion. Next thing I'm gonna cut will be the garlics. So we're gonna finely chop them. If you watch my videos from early today, you probably already learned the skill I taught you, how to prepare your garlics. And here are my peeled garlics. I'm gonna finely chop them. So I'm gonna chop them to slices first, and I'm gonna just leave them on the chopping board. And I'm just chop them like this several times. And we'll do the job. Now I'm gonna put chopped onion and finely chopped garlic on the hob to fry them first, and let's go. I'm gonna use the garlic flavor fry light oil spray again, and I'm just gonna, evenly spray in the pan. Then I'm gonna add the garlic first. I'm gonna add the onion just a few seconds afterwards. And we are going to start with high heat. And after about 20 seconds, we're going to turn the heat to medium low. And I'm gonna put in some salt. And we're going to just leave them on the heat while we are preparing the mushrooms. While the garlic and the onions are frying in my frying pan, I'm gonna prepare our mushrooms. So here we'll need about 200 grams of chestnut mushroom and 100 grams of normal closed cup mushroom. And I'm just gonna cut them to slices. For this risotto dish, we're going to need quite a lot of stock actually. I'm going to teach you guys how to make a vegetable stock. So I'm not going to make the stock from scratch because that's potentially going to take up to 5 hours. Here I'm going to use one vegetable pot, and it's like a stock pot and a stock cube. We are going to add about 1.3 to 1.5 liter of boiling hot water. And give them a quick stir. Make sure all the vegetable cubes are mixed in the sauce. Yeah, that will do. And now we can put the stock on the side. And I'm going to put the mushroom in the frying pan now. Once the onions browned up a little bit, I'm gonna add about half of the mushroom we chopped with before. So just a mix of both mushrooms. And we're gonna give them a quick mix and let them fry a little bit. Once the mushroom fried, we are going to add 200 grams of risotto rice in the frying pan. We are going to toast them a little bit before we add the stock. We are going to toast the rice about 45 seconds ish, and we are going to add in our stock. So I'm gonna add stock bits by bits at a time. So I'm gonna add a tiny bit of stock and give them a quick stir. And here we're going to keep our heat to medium heat. I'm going to add more stock in now. So I'm going to put in about a pinch of thyme, fresh thyme in there. And I'm gonna give them a quick stir. Now I'm gonna add the remaining mushrooms in the frying pan. And give them a quick mix. And you can see the stock is nearly gone, and we are going to add a little bit more stock in the frying pan. So we are going to repeatedly add stock in the pan once the stock is nearly gone, and we are going to cook the risotto rice with the other ingredients slowly in the frying pan. So this sauce is totally optional as well because it took us ages to find it. We are going to add about 1 tablespoon of Henderson radish sauce. And give it a quick stir. So the risotto rice is nearly cooked now. I'm gonna add about 80 grams of frozen peas in here. And give them a quick stir and mix it all in. Now I'm gonna serve my risotto in a bowl and I'm just gonna spoon them in. And I'm gonna grate some Parmesan cheese on top of my risotto rice. And finally, we are going to add extra pepper and a tiny bit of salt for seasoning. And if you want, you can cut a few really cute thyme for decoration. And that's how you make a mushroom risotto. Now is the most important part. Try my food. Let's give it a try. Oh god, it's so good. Delicious. I'm going to enjoy my dinner now. If you enjoyed my food today and if you like my recipe from this morning, this lunch or even dinner, make sure you like my videos and subscribe my channel and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye!